Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Traveling Sista, and right now I'm coming to you from my bathroom on my MacBook, okay, on my computer, because frankly, I just didn't feel like setting up a camera, okay? It's almost midnight, and the lighting, there's no natural light, and that's what I use. Yeah, I don't have a lighting setup and all that. So just to make it easy, I'm just coming straight from the computer, and I hope the sound is halfway decent that you guys can hear me and all that good stuff. Um, and I'm doing this because I feel compelled to. I feel like I need to speak to y'all right now and get a little personal. Um, it's been on my mind to do a video about why, well, not why, because I kind of explained why, but a very in-depth why about why I moved to Tanzania and how I've changed. Because this is not, moving to Tanzania was not only a outward journey for me, it was a journey inward to do some soul searching. That's another big part of why I moved to Tanzania in the first place. And I basically I went through a series of events that led up to me really moving to Tanzania. Um, and I really wanted to share them with y'all. But before I dive into that, I really want to thank you guys for expressing your appreciation for the Q&A videos and everything. And I'm glad that you guys find them useful, because I mean, I don't make videos just to be on YouTube, and really I'm not even the type of person who needs to like be in front of a camera or who likes to be in front of a camera. But I felt like I had something to say to you good people, and um, I felt like I had something useful for y'all, and I want to speak to the people who are going to listen. I wanted to speak to anybody who would just listen. Um, so, yes, I'm expressing my utmost gratitude for you guys who have been sticking with me through day one since I put my first video up. And I'm trying to get around to answering all y'all's questions. Like I said in my last video, keep the questions coming. Um, I'm here to answer them. I'm here to answer them. I might not shoot you an email back all the time, and I might not go through every comment and comment back and reply and stuff. But trust me, I see all of your comments. I see all of your love. I see all y'all trolling. I see all the good, bad, and the ugly. And I appreciate every piece of it, all of it. I really do. So, utmost gratitude to you guys. So, as you know, I'm pregnant, and if you hear me take a lot of deep breaths, like for all of my viewers that have been pregnant before, like you get out of breath, and your girl is big, okay? Your girl, I am. Whoa, I have 7 weeks left until baby Zora comes onto this earthly plane. I'm so excited. But yeah, anyways, without further ado, I really want to jump into my video, the substance, the meat and potatoes of the video about how I've changed, really, how I've changed. So I'm going to start with kind of a background of myself. Not in a whole autobiography or anything like that, but just who I am, who Kat Wilson is, not Traveling Sista, Kat, Kathy, Catherine, who this girl right here is, okay? Okay, where to start with this, all right? Um, so before I came to Tanzania, long before I came to Tanzania, back in 2012, this is where this journey is going to start, okay? And it's what, 2018 now, so yeah, it's been years in the making, basically, and I didn't even know it. I didn't even have the foresight. But anyways, back in 2012, I got out of the Navy, and I had moved back to San Diego, and basically started school and, just started my journey throughout life as an adult, separated from the military, because it's a very different life when you're transitioning from young woman or teenager to adult in the military in a structured environment. It was different for me because I had that like mad structured environment when most of my friends and most of the people that I know um, who weren't in the military came into manhood and womanhood just with freedom. You know what I'm saying? So I came into my womanhood under a lot of structure, and I feel like I didn't really blossom into the person who I should have been. And that's one of the other reasons I left the military after 6 years. But, anyways, so after I got out in 2012, I did a lot of soul searching, and I was going to school for graphic design and everything, and also film. And through my journey in school, I met a lot of people and I was just introduced to a lot of things. And that's when I started exploring my own spirituality, not necessarily on a religious basis, but the structures that I had been handed down throughout life, the religious structures that dealt with spirituality. They started to come into question just because a lot of things about that structured spirituality didn't add up for me. You know what I'm saying? And it never did. Even as a kid, I would be like, well, why is this XYZ? Why can't it be like that? And a lot of stuff just didn't make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? So this is a time in my life where I just started to come into my own, really, when it came to maturity, spirituality, mental awareness and consciousness and whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay. So with doing that, especially as a Black woman in America, I feel like, or just a Black person, okay, not even necessarily a Black woman, because beside the fact that, I'm a woman, just being Black here in America, being African American, Black American, Indigenous American, whatever you identify as, being Black here in America, I don't feel like you can explore your spirituality without educating yourself on the plight of the Black man throughout the history of America. Okay, and like I said, that's no matter what you identify yourself with title. You know what I'm saying? Because they're all titles, they're all just words. But you can't explore your spirituality without knowing or diving into the history of the treatment of the Black man and Black woman here in America, and vice versa. I don't believe that you can really fully explore the history and get a real good grasp on it without, it being a segue into spirituality. So that's kind of how that worked for me. So with me exploring all this and coming into myself as a woman, coming into myself as a Black woman, coming into myself as a spiritual being with all this divine feminine energy, I got overwhelmed, to be 100 with y'all. Like, I got overwhelmed, and it was a lot of information. I had a lot of questions. I had a lot of things going on. And so throughout my younger years, I guess you could call it, because this was like, what, 4 or 5 years ago, I wasn't in an environment that was conducive to proper growth for me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm very young in my spiritual journey at this point, and I'm filled with questions. I'm filled with, like, just information coming at you. And as all of you know, like, YouTube University has so much information, okay? So much information being thrown at you left and right. And it's like, which thing do you choose to take on as your own opinion? Like, you know what I'm saying? Not even take on as your own opinion, but what facts do you adopt and what facts do you push to the side? Because everything, in fact, is not a fact. All right, it's not. Everything is not real. That you're gonna get when it comes to information. But anyways, yeah, I just had a lot of questions, and my head was swimming with, all these thoughts and trying to figure out who I was. So I kind of ended up shutting down and I dove inwards. You know what I'm saying? The book that kind of catapulted that was The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Okay, and that kind of helped me get into more so who I was and not looking outside of myself for power. Okay, now I'm gonna jump around a little bit, so I hope you guys can follow me. So growing up in a household with a fellow Libra, which is my mother, actually, and my brother. My brother's a Libra too, so it's 3 Libras in a household. My birthday is the day after my mom's, and my brother's is like 2 days before that. But anyways, my mother is a very, very giving, loving, self-sacrificing person, almost to the point of it being unhealthy. You know what I'm saying? And Mama, if you watching this, I'm not coming for you, okay? I'm just, you know me. Mookie's gonna tell her like it is, okay? But she's a very sacrificing person, okay? She will give you the clothes off of her back. She'll feed you. You know what I'm saying? Like she is love. That's my mother. She is love, okay? And I, being the person I was when I was in that transition state where I didn't really know, you know what I'm saying? I really didn't know who I was. I was coming into a new being. I was trying to level up and get my whole spirituality situation together. With me kind of adopting the same qualities that my mother had of just being a completely selfless person, I feel like that made me vulnerable, okay? So, I was easily manipulated. I was easily handled, okay? In which I don't like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't like to be handled. I'm usually not a person who can be handled easily. You know what I'm saying? I can't really be toyed with that easily. I usually don't take that type of behavior from people. But when I was in a state where I was unstable, then it became easy to do that to me. And so I say all that because I feel like me being in an environment where people were just uber loving, you know what I'm saying, like to the max, that kind of fed my I guess my shortcomings, if you want to call them that kind of fed my shortcomings. And I used to let people get away with a lot more than they did. And behavior like this is damaging to your spirit, okay? Like, when you go through any type of trauma, it's damaging to you. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you don't know the right ways to handle it and to deal with it and to heal yourself from it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to figure me out. You know, I went through heartbreak. I went through just letting anybody around me with any type of energy, you know what I'm saying? People who would bring me down, drug abuse, you know what I'm saying? I went through a lot in this period where I was trying to figure me out. And all that kind of accumulated, you know what I'm saying? And one day I really just had a strong breakdown. I had a breakdown, y'all, like, and it was scary because I kind of had like an experience where I was outside of myself looking at myself and I was scared. I didn't even want to be in the same room with myself. And luckily, one of my best friends pulled me out of that, you know. She's my sister friend. That's my sister friend. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, I got help through somebody who pulled me out of that, and she's an angel. And I began really looking inside myself after that because I was shown things through that breakdown. You know what I'm saying? If you're able to kind of look at your trauma after you go through it, if you're able to look at it and analyze it, instead of just sitting up feeling sorry for yourself. I'm not saying be hard on yourself, but I'm saying pull your bootstraps up and look at the situation. I realized that I was broken. And baby, when I tell you, when I realized that I was actually broken, and I was just so real with myself. And I'm still proud of myself for that, because I would not be the person who I am today if it was not for that sliver in time. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for that moment in time where I looked at myself and I was real with myself. Okay. So in doing that, I realized that I was a broken vessel. Okay. I was a broken vessel and that I needed to be fixed. And I did a lot of things. I burned some incense. I burned some sage. I cleared my energy. I got some stones. I didn't even know what I was doing with them. But I was like, okay, I see people get crystals, so let me do some Googling real quick and see what kind of crystals I need to clear this energy. You know what I'm saying? Da, 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 da. And I started meditating, you know. I tried to still my mind, and most importantly, I tried to be present. You feel me? I tried to be present. Okay, so how does all of this relate to Tanzania? How does it relate to Tanzania? So, with all that being said, I eventually healed myself enough to become a functioning human being in society. Okay, and I finished school. I got both of my associate's degrees, which I was super proud of. I started working on the third. And I got a job, which I absolutely hated. You know what I'm saying? The job was not for me. I wasn't unhappy. I got to a point where I was happy with who I was. I was content with who I was. Let's be real, okay? I was content with who I was, but the work situation, the mundane, everyday thing, like I would be grinding away and I felt like I was a robot just on autopilot, like, ugh, it was hell. You know what I'm saying? And it's not that the job was hard or anything, but I was like, what am I doing? And one day I remember coming into work like, I'm finna quit in 2 weeks. I'm giving my 2 weeks notice today. Right? And I didn't have a plan. You know what I'm saying? I did not have a plan. I had been tossing around the idea of moving somewhere. Okay, moving out of San Diego. Cause it started to get old to me. Cause I was in San Diego, LA, and the Bay Area within that like 4.5, 5 year span that I was there, and I was just antsy. You know, I got antsy, and my spirit was telling me I needed to move. So I was tossing around ideas like, oh, okay, maybe I move to Arizona. Maybe I'll move to New York. And I actually visited New York and I loved it, you know. But I was like, nah, something's telling me no. But you need to quit. So I put in my 2 weeks that day. No idea what I was going to be doing. I still have my film and photography skills to back me up. So I was like, well, I'll just freelance and drive for Uber until I figure out what I'm going to do with my life. And so in that period of time, I began researching and searching different things about Tanzania. Well, about the motherland first, different countries, stuff like that. And I told this story in another video, so I don't want to, just repeat myself. But basically, I had settled on Tanzania just for many reasons, because something called out to me about Tanzania. Not only the natural beauty, but just the natural lifestyle that I saw that people had out there. The slower pace of life. Okay. And I'm going to touch on that a little bit later about how that kind of catapulted me into the space that I am currently in today. So, like I said, I had been through a lot, and I finally got to the place where this broken vessel glued herself back together and was a functioning water holding device again. Okay. My sanity was back in me, and I felt like I was good. And so fast forward to me moving. Sorry, my computer just timed out on me. I don't know if it's still recording. Please say yes. Okay, cool. So fast forward to me moving to Tanzania. As you know, I expressed in like one of my first videos that I had moved out there with a friend. Her and I both decided that we're on a very similar spiritual path at the time, and she needed something new, I needed something new, so we decided, hey, let's do this together. We did that together, and it didn't turn out like either one of us expected. So we split ways in Tanzania, and that's probably one of the best things that we could have done, because I don't feel like I would have gotten what I got spiritually from Tanzania that I would have if I was with her. But what's so special about Tanzania that I was able to grow, that changed me? You know what I'm saying? Like, what about Tanzania and what about this journey that changed me? You know? First of all, I want to talk about the people in Tanzania. The people in Tanzania, and I'm not just saying this because I'm trying to promote Tanzania or, the lifestyle, or I have nothing to gain. You know what I'm saying? I have nothing to gain from this. So, but the people in Tanzania are some of the most loving people that I've ever met. Just that's how they are. They are very giving, very loving, very accommodating. And this has been in my experience, if your car, and I think I mentioned this in one of my other videos, like an example, like if your car is broke down on the side of the road, you will have people come to help you. Not like, well, good luck, I hope you got AAA. You know what I'm saying? None of that. Like, it's all love. They're very community oriented in Tanzania. Like, if someone in the village dies, nobody's going to work that day. Nobody is going to be in the fields. Nobody, you know what I'm saying? People are going to come around and gather around and see if that family needs help with anything, console that family, be there for that family emotionally. And it's a very beautiful thing that I see in Tanzania with the people. They have a deep rooted respect for their elders, which I like. So do we here, at least in the family I grew up in. I can't speak for everybody's family or the whole nation for that matter. But in my family, we have a very deep rooted respect for our elders and our ancestors. And I really, I dig that about Tanzania. And the biggest thing that has aided in my transformation, okay, is the slow pace of life, really. Because here in the States and many other countries that are westernized, modernized, Europeanized, whatever you want to call it, more developed, it's very go, 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 okay? It can be very fast-paced at times. And being in Tanzania, even Dar es Salaam, which is the big city, it can get a bit fast-paced out there, but it's still not as fast as America. And I use America because that's where I grew up. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm comparing it to. But it's a very slow pace of lifestyle, and people aren't in a rush. People aren't worried about getting here, getting there, gotta do this, da 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 da. Like, people take their time to do stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that kind of forced me into chilling the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Excuse my language, but it really did. It forced me to chill out because I was always the type of person who, if I want something, I want it now. I got to go do this. I got to, you know what I'm saying? I got to be on the move, on the go. Always got to be busy. And even though it irritated me at times, like, why is this person taking so long? Why are they doing this like that? You know, yada, yada, yada. I was forced to chill out and have time to look around, to observe my outer world. And it's so beautiful in Tanzania. It's so freaking beautiful. And, you know, really, I took time to stop and smell the flowers, all right? And not only outside, but like with all that free time I felt like I had, like the slow pace of life, which I feel like is more close to the natural pace of life. I had time to look inside myself. And like I said, I went there an empty vessel. You know, I fixed myself, you know what I'm saying, just good enough. But I was an empty vessel, and I went there with the mindset like, you know, I want to learn. I want to learn. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's calling me here. I don't know really what my purpose is to come here besides the fact that I want to explore myself. I want to learn. I want to be surrounded by people who look like me. I want to experience a new culture. But mainly, I wanted to learn about the new culture, about the beautiful Tanzanian people, and about myself. And I knew that it was going to be transformative for me. I knew it was. But I didn't know how. I didn't have the answers. You know, I didn't go there with any specific goals like, you know, anything set in stone. I went there with an open mind, an open book, and an empty vessel, waiting to be filled with knowledge, waiting to get that natural prana, waiting to get that energy that nature had to offer, you know, and just waiting to kind of free myself from the structures of American society, I guess. I guess you could say that. So with that, I'm gonna. Ooh, hey Zora, you awake, Mama? She just woke up. But with that, I'm gonna kind of transition into another part of my journey before I came to Tanzania. All right, so I decided one day that I wanted to get some chakra work done, right? I had never gone to a Reiki session before this period. I have heard of it, you know, but honestly, I didn't know where to begin because I feel like, especially in California, all right, Southern California, it's a bunch of hippies down there, all right, and I felt like everybody was a damn Reiki master. Everybody knew about chakras and everybody knew about this, that, and the third. And so I was like, so who do I even go to that I know is going to be real with me, that I know is going to be, you know what I'm saying, going to actually help me. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I was an empty vessel, newly fixed empty vessel. And I needed this to be approached with delicacy and with love. And so, long story short, I have a friend who I always did photo shoots with and stuff. Not me being in the photo shoot, but me being behind the camera or whatever. But, and he was talking to me. He was telling me that he had been going to these Reiki sessions. And, you know, we just started talking about them and stuff. And I asked him, like, do you feel like they're helpful? Have they been working? You know what I'm saying? Like, what type of stuff y'all do? And he was like, yeah, man. Like, I really dig this lady. And it was to a point where he just went every month to this Reiki master in San Diego. And I was like, you know what? Go ahead and give me her number because I want to go and see what she's about, you know? And so he did. He gave me her card, and I reached out to her. I gave her a call and was like, hey, I want to get a Reiki session done. And my friend Omar, he he's referring me to you, and I just feel good. You know what I'm saying? I didn't tell her I felt good about it. I just was thinking like I feel good about this. So I gave her my name. I gave her the date and time I wanted to come in, and bam, we set it up. You know, I didn't know anything about her. She didn't know anything about me. Besides that, my name was Kat, and I'm coming in on a Wednesday at 1 something for a Reiki session. Okay, so fast forward to my Reiki session. After the Reiki session, I had like a brain fart. After the Reiki session was done, I went to the bathroom or whatever, because I had to use the bathroom, but we sat down and we talked about everything that was revealed during these Reiki sessions, like which chakras were closed, you know, and what needed work, what was open, what was good, and all that stuff. So she started off by saying, at the beginning of every Reiki session, I open the floor for all ancestors to come and join me spiritually during the Reiki session and relay any messages to you that they need to be relayed to you and stuff like that. And I thought that was pretty cool because during the Reiki session, I felt somebody there. Okay. I felt a presence there. All right. And so she started off by saying that. Then she went on to say, the chakra. No, actually, she went on by asking me, I'm not trying to be funny, but do you know where you come from? And I was like, well, I mean, I was born in San Diego. I grew up in Newport News. She was like, no, I mean, do you know ancestrally where you come from? I was like, well, my lineage is African, and that's really all I know, you know? And I didn't tell her about the DNA test that I got done through Ancestry.com. I didn't tell her that because I'm like, yo, you're a Reiki master. Like, I don't know, whatever. I didn't tell her that I got the Ancestry DNA thing done. But she was like, well, throughout your whole session, Africa has been calling to me. It's been something that's been very prominent. It was screaming out to me through your whole session that if you had not visited Africa before, you really need to go. Now, mind you, this lady don't know me from anybody on the street, okay? She doesn't know me. She doesn't know who I am. She didn't know my last name or anything like that. She definitely didn't know about my oncoming trip to the motherland. And so I'm like, wow, dude, how could you know? You know what I'm saying? But she told me that it was very important that I make this trip one day and that it was going to be transformative for me and life-changing. And so I was like, right on, yo. Right on. Like, that's dope. And so she went on to tell me about my chakras, that my root chakra was fully activated and fully open, you know, but my heart chakra closed, in which that made perfect sense. And like, when she was doing the chakra work, my eyes were closed, but I could still feel her, like, you know what I'm saying? I could feel where she was. And she came to my heart chakra twice. And I heard her doing like heavy breathing. I don't know if this was for theatrics, whatever the case may be, but I felt it. You know what I'm saying? I felt it. And she was doing a little bit of heavy breathing over my heart chakra, and she told me that she sensed a lot of pain in my heart chakra. She sensed that I had been through something traumatic just recently, and you know, honestly, I had just lost my grandfather the months before that, which he's basically my father. He raised me. You know, that's the main male figure in my life. He raised me, and I lost him the day after my birthday, on my mom's birthday. That was hard, you know, and I had to go home and I had to come home to Virginia from California right in the middle of me planning the trip, pack up, like, right in the middle of me packing up, helped to plan the funeral, helped to get everything together for the services. And God, I wasn't expecting that. On top of that, I had to get rid of my dog who had been with me through that whole beginning in 2012, through my whole transition, my whole spiritual journey. Oh, God, that was hard. That was my child. You know what I'm saying? That was like me rehoming my child. I had to find another home for him. And on top of that, I had just went through a horrible, horrible breakup. Like, it was really bad. And I was damaged. You know what I'm saying? Smiling on the outside, I was good, honey. I was good. But here, it was so much pain. It was so much pain, especially when I tell you all three of those things hit me within a week, 2 week period. Horrible. Okay. So yes, I was going through a lot of pain, and um I found it quite amazing that she was able to sense all of that through my fake ass smiles. but but yeah. So I got that confirmation that I needed to go to the motherland. So I kind of got that sense that, like, okay, this is the path that you should be going on. I never questioned it though. You know, I didn't ask the universe or anything for a sign to let me know if I'm on the right. There was no question, but this was just further confirmation that, baby girl, you're on the right path. Stay with this. Through all the skeptics, through all the people who were like, why you want to move to Africa? Are you sure you're going to get, mauled by a tiger, lion, whatever? You know what I'm saying? People had real dumb stuff to say. But I never questioned my decision from the jump. But yeah, this was just confirmation that something earth-shattering was about to happen when I moved to Tanzania. And I went out there not looking for anything crazy, not expecting the world. I didn't go out there like, okay, so the Reiki master told me that I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying? I didn't go out there with that antsy mindset. I came out there cool, calm, me. You know what I'm saying? I'm a very laid back person. And I came out there with an open mindset, empty vessel. I know I keep saying that because that was important. That I was empty when I came out there. Because if you're already full, you're already righteous, you already got all the knowledge, there's no room for you to grow. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I came out there with an open mind, open heart, ready to take what life was throwing at me. So I know this has been quite a long video, but how have I changed? I learned how to be. I learned how to be present. I learned patience. Because like I said, I was just used to the go, go, go. I was just used to getting everything when I wanted it. And that's not always the plan that the universe has for you. Sometimes you have to humble yourself, sit down, and wait for direction. You know what I'm saying? And if you call out to it's just like anything with the law of attraction. When you call out to something seeking guidance, when you call out to your ancestors, when you call out to the universe seeking guidance, you will be answered, okay? It might not be in the time that you need it to be or that you want it to be, but it will be right when you need it to be, okay? And I had to learn that. I had to learn to shut my mouth and open my eyes, okay? Like, I had to learn how to be present so that things could manifest in my life, so that I could find out who I was spiritually, so that I could further dive deeper into who I was, okay? And yeah, I really believe that the slower pace of lifestyle out there helped me to do that. It helped me to appreciate it helped me, ooh, ow, she's kicking me in my ribs right now. it helped me to really appreciate my journey, to surround myself, being surrounded by nature, y'all. Like it's a certain vibration that Mother Nature gives off that is, you can't compare it to anything else. And I really believe that that helped as well. Just fresh air, you know what I'm saying? Fresh air, vibrant colors, sounds of animals, watching animals just be. Like in the house, in the video that I showed you guys some time ago, there used to be these little tiny butterflies. They looked white when their wings were closed, but when they opened, they were like pale blue. They were so cute. I used to love those butterflies. And sometimes I would just sit on my doorstep and watch them hop around, like fly around from little flower to flower in my front yard. And I used to really watch them, and I used to watch the ants and stuff like that, and like thinking to myself, like, they got it down. You know what I'm saying? They're being right now. They're not worried about tomorrow. They're not worried about yesterday, about how this ant hurt my feelings, or stupid stuff. Like, they're being, they're thriving, and just doing little things like that help me come into a state of presence. And in presence, you will find yourself, okay? You will find beauty. You will find everything you need in the moment, okay? And yeah, it helped me learn to love again. It helped me learn to love unconditionally, without borders. It helped me to appreciate every step of my life. Every step of my life. But gosh, okay, Zora, I think I'm too loud. I woke her up. But it helped me to appreciate every step of my life, every step of the struggle, every step of the journey, and be in a space of gratitude. And I'm telling you, when they say, I used to hear people say all the time, even growing up in church, like, God's not going to bless you with the big things until you get grateful for the small things, okay? Just to put it in, those terms. But I understood what they were saying, but I didn't really understand that shit until I was forced into presence, until I became present in my journey, that, like, you really do. You have to live from a space of gratitude, and to find the lesson in everything. And that was another big thing for me. That was another big part of that journey when I came to Tanzania, because, like I said, my friend who I came out there with, we split ways. We didn't see eye to eye on a lot of different things. And that hurt, for real. That hurt when we split ways. But I took it with stride, because I knew that there was a bigger plan for me. Oh my God, y'all, like, for the past 5 minutes I was talking, and I didn't even realize that I had pressed record. So that means it's time for me to get off here. This video is probably like 40 freaking minutes, okay? So I'm going to wrap it up before I just continue to ramble. But, but I've grown a lot. I've grown a lot since I moved to Tanzania. And since my return to the States, I really do feel like I'm out of place sometimes. I feel like a stranger. I feel like I can't relate to a lot of people. And that comes with any spiritual growth. You don't have to move to Tanzania to get that type of spiritual growth. Like, I hope that if this wasn't valuable information to anybody, that it's at least entertaining, whatever the case may be. But mostly I hope that whoever out there is watching my video and you're on your spiritual journey like I was and like I am, that you take time to be present, okay? That you take time to do that soul searching and look inside yourself and unbiasedly, without a doubt, like recognize the things that are broken within you that you need to be healed. You know what I'm saying? Recognize those things with love, though. You can't always be hard on yourself, like, yo, you so stupid. Like, you can't talk, you gotta talk to yourself with love. You gotta talk to yourself like you're coddling a child sometimes, I guess. But you gotta be real. Um, I hope that that can be encouragement to take that look within and take the steps to heal yourself, no matter what path you take, whether that's diving into whatever religion you are, whether that's just going straight to a Reiki master, whether that's, I don't know, using some sage, whatever the case may be, smoking, I don't know, smoke an ounce a day, like whatever the case may be, whatever you need to do to get your head straight, to catapult you within yourself and to look within, a real look, please take those steps, you guys. And I'm very serious about that, because the spiritual journey is the most important journey you'll ever take, ever. The relationship with yourself is the most important relationship you will ever have in your life, okay? And don't look outside yourself for power. You got the power all along. You know what I'm saying? Don't give your power away so easily to structured, organized. I don't even want to get into all that. But just know that you have the power to heal yourself. You have the power to look within yourself and come to, basically. Yeah, so that's all I got. That's all I got for y'all before I keep rambling on, because it's almost 1 o'clock. And I was not expecting to make this video, but I just really wanted to talk to y'all. So like I said, I hope somebody found this of some type of value. And even if you didn't, I still got mad love for y'all, yo. All right. Peace, peace. I'm out.